We can see you move now. Hello. Okay. So we are doing, on average, about 300 extra damage, 250. If we land our W, we're dealing almost 350 extra damage, which is a lot. And I think it might kill Double Lift. I'm not exactly sure based on his Guardian from his ally. He didn't have heal. Well, I'm thinking like, I don't know if we'll be able to get auto attacks off because like it's a recon and stuff, so we might have to do damage quickly, but yeah, that's why I wasn't really thinking about it. But anyway, I just want to look at skills. You know, we're never going to be able to pinpoint this exactly. I want to look at skills. Auto attacks are going to add like about 30 to 60 damage. Anyway, okay, that is Rocket Belt. Now, the other thing that I really am curious about, which I personally think is super cool, is Horizon Focus. So let's take a look at Horizon Focus here. Our AP is going to go to 120. And we're going to take out this thing, 17, which is Rocket Belt. We're going to take out Rocket Belt. And we're going to take out Rocket Belt here. Okay. This one is going to get an extra boost though, because we are assuming that we're proccing Charm here. So let's see how much damage we do with the passive. Yeah, I can pull up the paint file. Wrong one. There you go. Now, I want to consider Horizon Focus, okay? Now, so Horizon Focus, we have to multiply all of our damage by 10%. To me, this is the most interesting one because it's not directly relatable to the other things. Because like the other items, you know, it's like, okay, well, Ludens does 100 damage. Okay, 10 magic penetration, we have to think about that, but it does 100 damage. This thing does 200 damage. This thing does, you know, like, I don't know, like 200 damage. They all do like the same amount of damage, but Horizon Focus is different. So let's see. Oh, yes, times. Yes. Okay, so if we do just comparing straight up Horizon Focus versus Rocket Belt, here is the damage. Here is the damage. Horizon Focus is doing 1,104 damage without W and 12,093 damage with W. How old am I, brother? I am currently 27 years old. I have to think about it sometimes. I am 27 years old. Do I look it? Well, tell me the truth. You seem somewhat new or something. I don't know. What do you think? Do I look 27? Look at that neck, dude. 30, 31. I look 30. Fuck. Just fucking burned away. I look 30. That's kind of cool. Maybe I sound 30. Okay. I'm like trying to be more stout now. Perfect posture. I'm not old and crooked. I look younger than a year and a half ago. Yeah, I know. That's the best part, dude. Look, fucking. I used to feel kind of self-conscious in front of the camera, but now I just feel better. I need like a better shirt, honestly, but Alright, I'm gonna stop now. I am doing very well for myself. Very well indeed. Okay, still wearing the white shirts too. Without B, the B is here actually. And not only is there a B, I got a doggy now too. It's a way better stream, right? This thing's awesome. You don't have, oh, well, I haven't had a beard in a very long time. Oh, Jesus. Remembering back, I cringe. I tried to make the beard work because I thought, like, I just wanted to try it. It never did. I did not work with a beard. So, yeah. Okay. All right. So these are the numbers that we do with Horizon Focus. It's less than what we do with Rocket Belt. But Horizon Focus is cheaper. So the other thing I want to check is if we have an extra 15 AP from Dark Seal, is it worth it to go Horizon Focus? Okay, so in this situation we have 1155 slash 1353. So here's what it's looking like, guys. No, I'm not counting the Spell Thief in this calculation because I don't think we would... In this hypothetical that I'm doing, we don't have Spell Thief. Spell Thief, you know, you could get Spell Thief and all that stuff. I'm just trying to look at one item right now. Yes, Colin Gogo, very good idea. Right now, you are able to buy Spell Thief, the support item, after you complete your Smite upgrade. So once the Smite item is consumed, roughly around 7 minutes, you can buy the support item for 400 gold. And it's scaling, and it gives you wards after you hit 500, which often happens around 17 minutes or so. If you gank more, you get it faster, obviously, which it's very, very, very cool. No, there isn't a Monster Hunter debuff. That only works if you are farming minions. It says nothing about monsters. So you are good to buy it. Highly recommend it. By the gold wise, it's you spend 200 gold ish as an investment because it's not gold efficient when you buy it, but you make that money back quite quickly. We don't know whether it's intentional or not because, fun fact, Evelyn has it on her recommended items, so it might be intentional. Just buy it for now because it's hella fun. I'm super jealous that I can't do it, so you should do it for me. Here's what I am seeing based off of these items so far, guys. Here's what I'm seeing so far. Horizon Focus deals good damage if you land the W. If you do not land the W, it is significantly worse than Rocket Belt. So in the early game, you're going to have a lot of more opportunities to land your W. But if you're up against a team like in this hypothetical, we're looking at Vayne and Rakan in the bot lane, obviously, you're not going to get your W off. So you don't want to go Horizon Focus in this case. I'll be honest with you guys. I thought that Horizon Focus would do more damage than this, because right now it's not a valid justification for Horizon, even at 1293, to pick it over Rocket Belt, which is 1237. You get, what is this? 55 more damage with your W proc. But if you're procking W, it's already like Rocket Belt is better. So I was excited about Horizon Focus, but I don't think you can rush it. It doesn't make sense in this kind of hypothetical that we're looking at. Now, that being said, there are some people, and when you count shields and heals and stuff, it might matter whether or not you have more maximum damage. This could, like, this 55 damage, on the other hand, could be the difference. But no, it's less damage with the W. No, it's just, no, you can't really justify this. You'd have to. So here's the thing. No, here's the real answer. If you can't buy a Rocket Belt because you don't have enough money, or if you can buy a Horizon Focus plus a Dark Seal versus a Rocket Belt alone, now that's something to consider, because a Horizon Focus plus Dark Seal is actually quite comparable to a Rocket Belt. You have, without the W, you have less damage, so it's like roughly 80 less damage, but with the W you have more damage. It's like 30 something more damage. So honestly, Rocket Belt's looking pretty good, man. Night Harvest, I haven't compared Night Harvester, so let's do Night Harvester next, okay? Let's do Night Harvester next. So let me turn this off. Let me turn this on. So we have Night Harvester here. We have some damage scaling, 15 AP. Okay, so let me put that into the calculator. We'll put it here. Night Harvest. 15% AP. Is this correct? Somebody was telling me it was 30%. Is 15% correct? I'm assuming 15% is correct. I think the wiki tooltip is wrong. It should be 100 to... Okay, well, let me look at the client. I generally trust the wiki over the client. But if somebody wants to go check it out in game to double check how much damage it does, that would be cool. But let me look at items here in the client. So harvest. Okay. Okay, well, fantastic. It tells me 0 magic damage. Thanks, client. You're just amazing. Lolshop.gg. The Cosmic Drive is some string of code. No, this looks okay. Okay, can somebody confirm for me lolshop.gg? I mean, I can look at this, but I just, like, should I trust the lolshop.gg or the wiki? Because I kind of trust the wiki. Okay, this shows 0 damage too. Okay, no. I'm gonna go with what the wiki says here, okay? I'm just gonna go with what it tells me here, okay? 175 to 250. Okay. We can trust this. Everybody's in agreement now. So let me go and update this really quick. Really, I'm looking at this at level 7. So let's just look at level 7. I can do Dark Harvest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it's supposed to be how much at level 7? 201.5. Okay, so I can just do that. 201.5. I don't have to update all of them right now because this is the only one that we really care about. Okay. So that's Night Harvest. That's the damage and whatnot. This is wrong. What is this? D13. Oh, it's doing something about this. Plus, okay, no. Okay. 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 So, let's update these numbers. We're still looking at whether or not we kill Double Lift. Now we want to look at Hate Spike plus Empowered Whiplash plus Empowered Caress plus Electrocute plus Night Harvester plus Chilling Smite, which we have here, and that's it. And then we have but this is supposed to be 100. Okay, not to overexcite you guys. Okay, this thing plus Empowered Whiplash plus this thing plus this thing plus this thing plus this thing. Enter. All right, so we have Harvester is dealing 1210 slash 1289. All right, so at one item, as expected, Harvester deals slightly less than Rocket Belt. Cost the same amount. It what are the stats it gives? 15 ability haste. Rocket Belt gives us 15 ability haste, 250 at 200. Okay, so they literally give the same stats. It's just that, yeah, that thing gives a little bit more damage. That makes sense. It's basically the same thing. So this is kind of a moot point almost, comparing these two at one item. It's more interesting to compare them at two. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Client, go away. Thank you for reminding me. All right, so here's the damage. Without W, Harvester deals roughly in our full kit 100 AP at level 7, which is realistic. Harvester deals about 1210 damage, and with W deals 1289 damage, which is okay. It's good. I'm really sad, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really sad that Horizon doesn't do more damage. I thought that Horizon would do. I mean, yeah, Horizon does like a ton of damage if you hit your W, but if you don't hit your W, Horizon is lackluster. The thing with Harvester, you can apply it to all 5 members. Well, you can kind of do that with Rocket Belt too, because Rocket Belt gets a lot of rockets. And the thing about Rocket Belt is it gives more movement speed. So in terms of, so here's like my straight up thoughts on this. Rocket Belt is good early game because it gives you gap close and deals a little bit more damage. But you have to use it as an active, and it locks you out of using other abilities, so that gives more time for your opponent to stun you. That's why I believe that Harvester is better late game. In the late game, there's going to be times where you hit 5-man ults, man. Because late game, people are grouped up. That's the biggest thing. It feels really clunky to cast. Okay, so there is a specific way to cast Rocket Belt. The way to cast Rocket Belt is while you are channeling your Q. There is like a 0.1 or 0.25 second cast time for your Q1. That's when you want to use Rocket Belt. It should be like literally like boom boom, like one after the other. And you want to go into practice tool and practice this. Because here, can you run math on alternator plus Sork boots? Of course, yes. Let me just finish this thought. The way that you want to use Protobelt is as follows. You want, so Evelyn's stealth range is, or detection range is something like 700, okay? If I look up Evelyn, Evelyn's detection range is something like 700. Let me just confirm exactly what it is. Detection set. Am I the fucking master of this shit, or what? Okay. Anyway, Evelyn's detection range is 700. Evelyn's Q range is 800. Okay, so there is this sweet spot of 100 radius or units. Why are you looking smug? We all expect you. I know, but you know, it still feels good. There's this sweet spot of 100 units where the opponent can't see you, but you're in range of your Q. And that's the range that we want to always be in. Like, even if you don't want to engage on somebody, that's where you want to be chilling, because you are ready to go at a moment's notice. Okay? Very important. A lot of bad Evelyn players that I see, what they do is they're sitting on a flank, but they're like so far away. They're like 1,500 units away from their opponents. And if their team engages, they're not there to help. You have to use your camouflage to its full effectiveness. So you want to be as close as possible. Now, it's like impossible to stay within that range literally all the time, because like if they turn around, they see you, you can't react fast enough. Not good. You want to really be like chilling around like, you know, 900, 1,000 at most units away to give yourself a buffer. But you want to be really close. Now, with Protobelt or Rocket Belt or whatever, let me just pull it up here. Can you guys see this, by the way, what I'm looking? Yeah, you can. Okay, good. Rocket Belt. Rocket Belt sends you moving Does it tell you how many units? Does it not tell you how many units? Please. I'm gonna be mad if it doesn't tell you how many units. Okay, I guess nobody cared to write this down. Does it say it in Protobelt? $275 units. I'm assuming that they kept it the same. I'm assuming they kept it the same. Okay. 275 units. So think of it this way. Evelyn's E has a range of 210 units. Protobelt has a range of 275, which together it's about 500. Your detection radius is 700. So here's how a fight looks with Protobelt. You get to about 750 units from your opponent. Your opponent can't see you yet because the detection radius is 700. You shoot your Q from stealth. This is very, 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 very important. Because your Q, if they can't see you when you cast it, they have less time to react. And basically, the human brain is too slow to react most of the time. Most people won't be able to do this. So you cast from 750-ish range, your Q. The cast time is 0.3 seconds. You interrupt this cast time with Protobelt. So this is something that you would normally not, like those 0.3 seconds, Evelyn is literally like, whoop-a! She's not doing anything, okay? So during those 0.3, as soon as Evelyn starts going like this, you Protobelt her forward. You essentially interrupt your cast. You save that time. Your Q still goes off because this isn't Q is not an ability that can be interrupted. It's just that your cast can be interrupted. And you basically don't spend that much more time on your Protobelt, but you move 275 units forward. Then you like walk at them for just a tiny bit. Their brain, their little monkey brain, still trying to realize what the hell's going on. And by the time that they realize, you have already clicked Whiplash on them. And you're following up that Protobelt damage with Whiplash. If they flash away, you follow them. That's what it looks like. Okay? Q Proto, this should be smooth, like literally like Q Proto, like that. Just one motion, just slow-mo right now, like Q2, like one after the other. That wasn't slow-mo, but that was pretty quick still. And then you're spamming your E. You're fucking spamming like both your Q and your E. You're just hitting that shit that entire time, okay? So that your character, as soon as she is able to hit the E, she does it, and she's spamming her hate spikes whenever possible. And all of this stuff happens like in 0.2 seconds, man. It's like 0.5, less than 0.5, something that person can't react to. And basically, it's poor man's Flash. That's what it boils down to. Protobelt is poor man's Flash. You should be using Protobelt from outside of camouflage range to get closer. And it puts you into smite range. It almost puts you into E range. And that's how you're supposed to use it. Okay. Yeah, dude, K-Rab, I know. The turret thing is so sad. That was the true peak of Evelyn, and now we no longer have that, unfortunately. All right, Colin Gogo, you wanted to see just Sork shoes. I'm gonna say it's like, let's just say it's level 6. And we have just Sork boots. We have, so it's gonna be 60 AP. 60 AP because alternator gives, you know what, let's make it spicy. Let's say you have a dark seal with no stacks as well, so let's make it 75 AP, okay? Because like that's pretty reasonable, right? Something that we're gonna get many times. I would honestly even like throw in a we'll talk about Ludens in just a second. We'll talk about Ludens too. So let's say 75 AP, level 6. Penetration, so we have an extra 18. Oh shit, this was supposed to be 6 the entire time, wasn't it? Oh well. Whatever. Okay, so we have 24 magic pen here. And let's recalculate some damage. So we have Sork plus Alt plus Seal. So without our W, this is going to do Hate Spike. I think it's going to do like 60 damage. Stop. Our Smite is probably going to do like around 60 damage. I don't know. I don't really care to check. Actually, okay, I can check. What is Smite damage at level 6? 60. Okay, I was right. Didn't have to check. Okay, so we have Hate Spike plus Empowered Whiplash plus Empowered Caress plus Electrocute plus Revolver plus this. I think that's everything, right? So Hate Spike, Whiplash, Last Caress, Electrocute, Revolver, Smite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. And then here we have with W. So we have Hate Spike, Whiplash, Caress, Electrocute, Revolver, Smite. Enter. Quite good. Now, because this is, I did cut my hair and I look fabulous. Right. And I agree with you, Colin Gogo. Honestly, before doing any of this, the thing that I was talking about yesterday or the day before and just going nuts over it is rushing, starting with futures market and the cosmic insight or futures market and magical footwear. I was saying that you're gonna rush Alternator, Dark Seal, and Spell Thieves, and then upgrade your Sork shoes. Actually, I wasn't saying upgrade your Sork shoes, to be honest, to be full disclosure. I was just saying rush those things. But I was thinking that you could upgrade Sork shoes because it's only 800 gold. And with those things, like, that's good damage, man. Especially since Horizon Focus is 3,000. And this is what? So Sork shoes, even without, let's say we're not getting the shoes for free. So that's 1,100 plus 1050, so 2,150 plus Seal 350, 2,500 gold. So 2,500 gold, 500 gold earlier. You're dealing comparable damage. Well, not with the W. Okay, like, yeah, Horizon Focus, you hit the W, you're going to deal tons of damage. But without the Horizon... well, this thing also... Okay, in reality, this is like 3,500 gold because you have to spend the starting gold and stuff, and this is like 3,000 gold because, like, if you buy a potion and you buy the other thing, your general item. But still... What phase did you quick play? First phase, dude, it took forever. It, like, literally I was waiting forever for PvP to come out and they never did, so I just quit. Focus damage is boostless. I don't understand what you mean by boostless, Zacharoni and Cheese. Focus damage gives you 10% extra when you proc your W, or if you engage from far away. No boot. Yes, no boots. No boots. The focus damage has no Sork shoes. So yeah, once you get Sork shoes, it's going to do a lot more. But, you know, there's only so much gold to go around. This is rush item comparison. The next thing I'm going to do is going to two item combinations, which is going to be a little bit more interesting because then mythic passives are going to kick in. So we're going to have like Rocket Belt be showing a lot of more stuff. No, I rather not worry about anything to do with T1, honestly. Guys, 1 second, let me grab some water. And I'm back. My throat is actually hurting from just straight talking for the last 3 hours. I'm not used to doing this. I really want the chair to keep spinning. It can, dude, this thing can spin for ages. It's a real spinny thing. Anyway, bye. Garen's chair. True though. Hi, Daddy. Hi. There you go. That's the soundbite you've all been waiting for. And the other thing is that you can throw in, like, you can throw in a Spell Thief in here, still be cheaper than a Horizon Focus or a Rocket Belt, because this is like 3,700, right? This is 3,850. This is 3,700. So we're looking at way cheaper for just a little bit less damage. And this is like really, really cheap purchases. This is like super cheap, like incremental power that you can get. Dark Seal is cheap. Alternator, super cheap component. Sork Shoes, 800 gold to upgrade. There you go. Now let's do Ludens really quick because I know a lot of people want to see that too. So let me just update a couple of things here. 7. I have to do. Let me update Rocket Belt and Harvester really quick because I had them at extra pen. So this is the wrong number. Let me just do this. 1 plus power whiplash plus this thing. So electrocute plus. Let's just do Night Harvester first. Okay. And then plus 68 for Smite. And then do this really quick. Enter sign. Plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this, plus 68. So Night Harvester is actually supposed to do 1192 slash 1268. And Rocket Belt is same thing, except instead of Night Harvester, we're doing, instead of 13, we're doing 17. So just update this one line here, and then update this one line here, 15 to 17. So Rocket Belt, we're doing 1219 slash 1297. I can update horizon focus too, but let's do Ludens first. He used to watch me every night. Yo. Okay. So Ludens does 100 plus 15% AP. So that's easy. We just do Ludens here. Ludens. We write 100. Oh, was that a follow? Hi. Was that a follow? Wait, I can check. It was a follow. Thank you, sir. Look at that. We got a couple of followers today. It's so weird to me. I haven't done this in so long. Okay. Where am I? Right, I'm here. Ludens. Base damage is 100. Scaling is 15%. Yep. No, don't. Come on. Like this. Okay, so how do I do this? Normally it's what? Oh, right, it's total damage. Okay, so I have to make the bonus damage. It's going to be equal sign this thing times this thing, and then total damage is equal sign this thing plus this thing, and then this thing is going to be equal sign this thing times this thing, and this thing's going to be equal sign this thing times this thing. And now we have the numbers that we need to work with. So without further ado, let's check out how much damage we do with Ludens. Ludens gives us 10 magic penetration, so this goes up to 16. Update the numbers really quick. So now equal sign this thing plus this thing plus this thing plus electrocute plus Ludens plus 68 for smite. And now equal sign this thing plus 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 68 for smite equals this much. So here's how much damage we're doing with Ludens. So Ludens has 10 more penetration and 100-ish less flat damage on the proc. So we're looking at slightly less damage than Rocket Belts, slightly more damage than Harvester on Ludens at one item. This is at one item. And if we do, yeah. Add some gold to Ludens Tempest, Harvester. Harvester and Tempest cost the same amount. Wait, no. Oh, you're right. No, Ludens costs more. It's 3,900. You're right. All right. So is there any other thing we want to look for one item? Because obviously this is all pretty similar. If we look at 2 item stuff, it's going to be more interesting. 2 items. Rocket Belt Gold is wrong. No, Rocket Belt Gold is fine because it's accounting for the fact that you have to pay 500 gold if you're buying a potion and jungle item. Okay. All right. So because I don't have much other protests, this feels weird to me. Honestly, this feels weird to me because basically at 1 item there's no difference. It's like all the items are very similar. The variation really will like it's gonna like pick up once you have more items, but it's really weird to me that all of these items are kind of homogenous in a way. While we're here, let's just check out Lichbane, because Lichbane is the same. It's like just instead of the Ludens, which is 14. Oh right, but this is gonna be 6, so 6 for Lichbane costs 200, so 37, no, 35. Like Horizon Focus. And Lichbane, old items with new? No, we don't care about old items anymore. Old items, old history. We care about what can we buy right now. Because like you can't really compare it either, you know, different gold costs, different whatever. It's not something we care about. Okay, Lichbane, easy. We just have to replace Ludens, which is here, with the Lichbane, which is below it. So literally 14 to 15 right here. 14 to 15. 14 to 15. Everything else is the same, yeah? Yeah. So Lichbane 1154 slash 1227. So Lichbane actually doing decent damage, dude. Yo, like no lie, Lichbane's not bad. Yo, and it gives movement speed. And it's cheaper by like a lot. Yo, like I didn't think I would ever say this. I did not think I would ever say this. But I think Lichbane is looking pretty good. Like, because straight up, you can just buy a Dark Seal. And if you buy a Dark Seal, you have 115 ability power here. And we're looking at... We're looking at 3850, which is comparable to Luden's Tempest, but like, you know, not much more than Rocket Belt, only 150 gold more. We're looking at 1210 slash 1288. So the same damage as Rocket Belt and Harvester and everything. And his scale's pretty good too. But Lichbane doesn't have shit AP. Lichbane has the same amount of AP as all of these other random mythics. Okay, guys, I have to like add a note here in bold. Item plus jungle item gold. It's this includes the jungle item and the potion and stuff. Everything has less AP. That's what I mean. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. Well, the reason why is because Lichbane was changed. Lichbane's damage was buffed. Let me show you. Lichbane's damage was buffed. Here. Lichbane's damage, it went from 75 base AD to 150 base AD. So it's better not to rush mythic item. From my calculations here, it is better to go Lichbane than mythic item. Because Lichbane is cheaper and it gives movement speed. And it's up more often. 2.5 second cooldown versus Luden's having like a 10-second cooldown. Colin Gogo, are you still here? What do you think, man? You've been playing a lot. What do you think of this number? I think this is very promising. I think Lichbane is looking nice because 10% movement speed, I think that's big in the early game. No, dude, this is the damage with only one proc. Defiler, I know that you want me to continue streaming. I'm not going to. I'm telling you right now. How is that different? So check this out, dude. Lichbane gives 80 AP. Lichbane gives 80 AP. And Lichbane, like, you don't have to proc, like, you're never forced to try and proc more Lichbane procs. Like, if you have a Tempest or a Lichbane or a Proto Belt, you do the same amount of damage. Well, okay, no, if you have a Luden's Tempest, you do a little bit more damage with your Q because you have the 10 magic penetration. But, like, you know, like, this is one hit from Lichbane. If you consider, Lichbane does, over here, Lichbane does 140 damage. Like, actually, this is post-mitigation. 149 versus somebody if you hit them with W, but 140 if you don't hit them with W. So, if you hit 2 Lichbane procs somehow, you're starting to, like, vastly outperform these other items. I think that the reason that Lichbane got hotfixed is because it's actually broken right now. I think that they fucked up. I'm not gonna lie right now. I think Lichbane is supposed to have less ability power on it. Because having Lichbane have the same amount of ability power but have a higher AP ratio than these other items. And like the base, so 150 base AD. Evelyn's base AD at this point in game, this is Luden's, this is Lichbane. So it comes out to 119. So literally the base damage, just calculating the AD. What was Lich before the Season 11 update? Lich was 75% base AD. It was also 50% AP, but it was 75% base AD. It did half of the damage of base. So they made it so that Lichbane has a higher base damage than fucking Luden's Tempest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying right now. This is a insanely large buff. It's actually more than 50 by my calculations. It is right here. Lichbane does 119, so it's a 60 damage buff. Two needlessly large rods is 120 AP, so 140. 140 AP, 6 pen. Equal sign, but you're not getting any flat, so let's see. This thing plus this thing plus this thing plus electrocute plus 68 equal sign. This thing plus this thing plus this thing plus electrocute plus 68 equal sign. So just double needless. It's gonna come out to 2,500, 29, 450, 2,500, 3,000. 1154 slash. So it's more than the Sork version. Yeah, it's a ton of damage, but no secondary stats. And the thing is that buying a needlessly large rod is like near impossible on your first back, which is what you would have to do here. Yeah. I'll at the end of the stream, I'll upload this to Google Docs or whatever, and I'll let you guys mess around here too, and you kind of can see how I'm using it. So, I'll try to write something down here to explain how it works and everything, but yeah, obviously this does a ton of damage. Obviously, like straight AP is going to do more damage than anything else, but is the AD in the calculations? It is. It is actually, because it's right here. So if you look at Lichbane, 50% AP base damage, it is 1.5 times a V lookup, which if we scroll over here, I have Evelyn's levels and then the base, her base damage, which I'm not wait, no, this is something different. Where's the base AD? Here it is. You have oh, this is for Whiplash. Okay, that's why I was confused. You have her base AD here. I do calculate that. And if you update her level, this automatically up. So like, look, if I put level 8 here, then this number goes up to 123, and it's accounting for the extra like 6 AD that she gets. No, dingus! It's not true. Holy shit, Sunset's Eve. Well, it's Sunset's brain on Evelyn, okay? So yeah, so far, guys, this I think this is looking big. This is looking big. These two builds are looking big right now. Not gonna lie. Now, the cool thing about this build is that it scales really well. And what's the build path of Lichbane? So Sheen and Ether Wispen. Okay, so it's not a terrible build path. What does Sheen do? Let's take a look at Sheen real quick. Yeah, but I want to see what 100% base AD bonus physical damage. Okay, so it does 2/3 of this. So like, I don't know. Is that good? I don't know. 1.5 second cooldown. I legitimately don't know if this is a good. I mean, it seems okay, right? Like 60 50-ish. 50-ish damage. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I do know though, because if you look at Sheen, which is basically the same as a blasting wand obviously does more damage. Even if you get 2 Sheen procs, which is like less than 100 damage, blasting wand just does more. How have I been? Dude, I've been fucking amazing. I've been so good. Nasher's late doesn't sound horrible. 25% on your E. Yeah, but like, is there something better for that slot? I can look at finished builds and stuff, but right now we're thinking more about early game. Did we talk about Demonic Embrace? Nah, dude, I don't think Demonic Embrace. Well, I mean, it's OP, right? Let me look. I was looking at different items, but 70 AP. Dealing ability damage to enemy causes them to take 6% of your maximum health as magic damage. 10 bonus item, bonus magic resistance while enemies are afflicted, both increased by 2 for each additional champion. I just like, this is good if you can apply it to a lot of people often and stay in a fight for a long time, which, like, yeah, Evelyn has her Qs, but if you're thinking about her Qs as being damaged, it's really kind of single target. I can't, like, it doesn't sound optimal. Like, maybe there's some kind of tanky build out there, but obviously it's not going to be like the primary thing. So I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna worry about it. Nasher is good if you should do calcs for Banshee's Rush. Banshee's Rush is just gonna be a lot worse than everything else because Banshee's doesn't do the same amount of damage as everything else. Because Banshee's what? It has less AP, right? Yeah. Oh, but it's only 2,500. Okay, I see. I mean, so it's 3K. It's just gonna be way less damage than like the double needless or even the Sork alternator thing. It's a 3K. It's a 3K start with only 85 AP in the bank, and you don't have any passive, so it's not gonna be great. So we have just this plus this plus this plus this plus 68. Yeah, it's kind of atrocious, honestly. This plus this plus this plus this. So we're looking at 970. You're not killing people if you go Banshees, is what is the answer here. You're not killing people. It doesn't even matter if you get CC'd in the early game. Unless you have lots of stacks of Dark Seal. Yeah, dude. If you have lots of stacks of Dark Seal, everything, the game just becomes broken because Dark Seal is a broken item. Like, dude, who thought... Okay, dude. I have to take my glasses off for a second. Dark Seal gives the same amount of fucking... Dark Seal gives more ability power than Banshee's Veil. I don't know. Who thought that would be okay? No. One Dark Seal. That's the only one that is good. The other ones are bad. 70 AP, dude. Like, okay, I get like you don't even lose that much if you die. It's not even that bad. This stream needs the Keku emote. It does, but I don't have time for it right now. The biggest thing I want to say, guys, and for those of you that just tuned in, Lichbane has been buffed. And Lichbane, and I didn't think I would have ever said this in a previous life, but post item rework, Lichbane is looking extremely good. Lichbane is actually better than Horizon Focus, which I thought would be really cool in Evelyn because it synergizes with her W. And basically it does. It does a lot of damage. Horizon Focus does a lot of damage if you hit your W. But it's kind of not worth how little damage it does if you don't hit your W. So what's up, man? I'm new around here. Oh, Useless AB. I used to be an amazing Evelyn streamer. The best person to provide Evelyn content out there. I am the most knowledgeable still. But unfortunately, I quit streaming. And I won't be back and playing for still a long time. But this is the kind of content you would expect from my stream. You would see kind of a lot of itemization talk, a lot of trying to optimize for our favorite champion and stuff. No, K-Rab, you're not thinking of it right. Why did I quit playing stream? Oh, well, I was actually really, really stressed out by streaming. I had been doing it for 2 years, and there was some negative aspects of streaming that were starting to affect my life that weren't really prevalent in the early years, like in the first year and a half that I was doing it. The fact that I had more people meant that I was having a harder time connecting with individual viewers, which is something that I really liked, and I felt bad that I couldn't like reach out to everybody. And I didn't have a lot of personal time. I wasn't earning a lot of money, and I felt really bad because at the time I had like reached out to the League Partner program, and they basically said, we're sorry, but we just have too many applicants. We can't get to you right now. And they said, I reached out to the Twitch Partner program, and they said, yeah, you have the viewers, but we really want you to keep doing what you're doing. We're not going to give you a Twitch Partner. So that kind of like really bummed me out. And I had a lot of hate coming my way because I pissed off a bunch of different streamers, not by anything I said, just by playing. I think they got angry at me because I was playing a stealth jungle assassin. And yeah, it was hard. It was really stressful, and I felt like, you know, I was trying so hard and I was just drained. So, and I'm really happy now. Now that I haven't done it for like a year and a half, I feel so good. It got really bad at the end. It was like, you see me right now. This is who I am. I am just a very positive person that likes to think about stuff, and like, I love the game. And by the end, when I used to stream, I got to a place where I was having negative thoughts all the time. I felt trapped in them. And like, I would just look, I would literally like wake up in the morning and be like, all right, time to get up. And then I would like, the first thing I would remember is like some random fucking support player or something being like, you're trash, you fucking suck at this game, I disagree with you at this, and this. And it would just replay in my head like over and over again. And that was like all the time. I would be like having a good time, talking to stream, whatever, playing a game. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking about all this terrible stuff that people told me. And I'd be and eventually got to a point where it's like, yo, fuck, dude, like this is all I'm thinking about. And like I couldn't take myself out of that kind of mindset. So it became that it was like becoming a part of me, and I was constantly like upset and stuff, and I felt that I had to distance myself from it. That was the only way, because it was changing me in a way that I really didn't like. So I was like, okay, no, this can't continue. Have any conclusions been made? Yes. The conclusions right now is that although you get more damage from building a mythic item first, it seems that it's not worth it, because Lichbane, which costs a decent amount less than Luden's 100%. Like, Lichbane is just like straight up like 10 times better than Luden's. I'm gonna say that right fucking now. Lichbane looks straight up 10 times better than Luden's, because Luden's costs 400 gold more. Lichbane just straight up does more damage than Luden's. Like straight up. Oh yeah, dude, my favorite update for League of Legends is being able to disable allied chat. That's like right after I quit League of Legends, that's when they implemented it. I was like, ah, damn it, dude, this would have been so good. But my problem as a streamer is they would just come into my stream, they would say the same shit. Now, I should have gotten like way more moderators and told them to like get the fuck rid of anybody who said anything like inflammatory and derogatory for no reason, and leave it to them to decide, and they should just ban everything. And in retrospect, I know that now, but I didn't know that back then, so, you know. Alright, anyway. So there's two builds right now. There's two builds that are really good and you should really consider. One is Rushing Lichbane. It is very strong because it gives you a lot of movement speed. It gives you like constant DPS if you wish to use it in that manner. And it just gives overall good damage and good scaling. Lichbane is looking very good. The second build is a piecemeal build. It's not actually rushing any item. It's more going for component items that deal a lot of damage and scale really well. Those component items are Sork Shoes, which is not, it's a complete item, but you know, it's kind of like a component item because it only costs 800 gold to upgrade. And you're buying regular shoes most of the time anyway. Hextech Alternator, which is like the new version of Revolver. So it builds out of 2 amp tomes, very nice items to buy, lots of damage. Only 180 gold, I think, to upgrade, and it gives you a damage boost for that. Dark Seal, which is busted right now. And Spell Thieves, which is the support item that is for like mages or whatever. And all of those items basically scale up really hard. They do decent amounts of damage. You see them here. This is actually without the Spell Thieves, and it costs very little. So like compared, it does like 70 damage less than Lichbane, but that should tell you that, wow, that's really good. When you pay 500 gold less, and yeah, it's just really, really good. Oh yeah, Lichbane is a legendary item. Lichbane is the legendary item, which is something to consider. Oh, Magi's too, yeah. Would you say Evelyn is like the AP version of Blue Cane? I would say Evelyn is not quite like the AP version of Blue Cane. They play differently because Evelyn's a lot better in team fights than Blue Cane, I'd say. But I don't know. I don't play a lot of Blue Cane, so hard to say. And I was really bad at Kane when I used to play, so I really can't say much about him, honestly. I'll be honest with you. I've always thought they should remove it because it promotes smurfing. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Magic is kind of nuts. When do you buy Spell Thieves? You buy Spell Thieves after you consume your jungle item. That's the first time you can buy it, and you want to buy it as soon as possible so that it starts generating you gold. You want it to pay for itself as soon as possible. So around 7 minutes. What do you think the best build on Evelyn is? Personally, I believe right now, if Dark Seal stays as it is, and if you are able to buy the Spell Thieves, I think this piecemeal, like not rushing an item but building components build is the best. And the reason why I think it's the best is because it basically lets you spend 500 gold at a time, so you can really like get the bang for your buck, and you're always building AP. You're not getting any useless secondary stats, and you're gold efficient. You have scaling because you have the dark seal, which scales really hard on kills, and you have rewards for ganking from Spell Thieves. So I think this is really good. I think this is what people should be rushing. It offers you so much. You can build a rocket belt. You can build a harvester out of that. You can build a horizon focus if you want, but you probably want to build rocket belt or a harvester, honestly. Or you could just, and that's the beautiful thing, you can sit on your Hextech alternator until you want to buy the mythic item, which you don't have to rush. So like you can literally go here. I'll give you an example. You go futures market and magical footwear for runes. So you're getting your boots around like 11 minutes. You start the game by buying a Hextech alternator and a dark seal. And you upgrade to Sork shoes. So let's say alternator seal is 1400, Sork shoes is 800, so that's 2200. And then you build a Lichbane. So at 5200 plus 500, so 5500. At 5,500 gold, you are looking at 80 ability power plus 20 base, so 100 plus seal at least 15, alternator 40, 55, 155. So you have 155 ability power. You're probably like around level 9-ish. You have penetration of 24 penetration. Let's calculate damage for an enemy that's a little bit tankier, and we're looking at okay, so let's say that's your damage, and now let's calculate damage for this hypothetical that I have created. Flat magic penetration, so we don't use our W, we don't have a void staff. So this thing plus our whiplash plus caress plus electrocute plus Lichbane plus revolver plus 68 plus 16 is 74, 84, 84, yeah, 84 for smite. And look at that, man. That is good damage right there. That's without W. With our W, here is what we get with our W. Electrocute, Lichbane, Revolver, plus 84 for Smite. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here. So 5,500 gold. What we get is a Lich plus Sork plus Alternator plus Seal. That's 5,500 gold. We get 1,617 damage without W and 1,772 damage with W, guys. That is impressive. That is impressive to say the least. Yeah, this is 0 stacks on Dark Seal, by the way. This, like, if you max stack Dark Seal, that's another 55 ability power. So we're talking about 210 AP, which is, you know, if it's 10 stacks, this is 0 stacks. If we're talking 10 stacks, it's 18,038 damage or 20,015 damage. 2,000 damage. 2,000 damage at 1.5 items. 5,500 gold. You know how easy it is to get 5,500 gold in a game? You start the game with 500 gold. So you have to earn 5,000 gold only to get this. Would I buy support item? Yes. Support item I would 100% buy because it's basically free. Yeah, I'm not even calculating it in any of this, but the support item pays for itself literally in 5 minutes. How much more gold to finish Harvester? Well, I mean, Harvester is just 3,200 gold, so it's like 3,200 gold, you know. And how much damage? You want me to take a look at damage for Harvester after? Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's go back to 155. So it's another 3,200 gold to get Harvester, which would be 8,800. 8,700 rather. And so this is Lich. Shit. Lich plus, yeah. But now we have, no. Okay. Harv. So Harvester gives you 80 ability power, so we're looking at 235. We're gonna be like level 11 here. Should we boost our enemy's HP? Let's boost our enemy HP to like, what? Let's just say 1,500. I don't know. I don't know what a carry would have. And let's say they have mercs, so that's another 25 MR. So let's give him a merc treads, which is going to be 69 MR. And this is including, all of this calculation, by the way, was including them having an MR rune. Like the stone at the bottom. So they have an MR rune. They have 1,500 health. We have these items. So now the total damage right here is gonna, so we have 2 more levels, so plus another 16. This is gonna be 100. And we want to add Harvester to this Night Harvester, which is right here. Wait, what? That doesn't seem right. Ah, darn it. Oh no, this is fine. This is fine. I just have to update it. Night harvest. This one. Enter. I just hold on. I have to update it because I didn't go. I was lazy and I didn't update it here. So harvester does how much damage? Sorry, I gotta look it up online. Night harvest. We're looking at level 11. It does 219. So level 11 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 219. Okay. Now it should have the right number here. I'll update that before I upload this. So Night Harvest deals correct damage. So now here we just have to update this with 100 plus a harvest. So this calculation is against a tankier target. Much tankier target. This target has 25 more MR, more health. And we're looking at... Okay, just... more tanky. Okay, and we have 2074, 75 basically, slash 2341 if you hit your charm. And this is a more tanky target, okay? If we have, so you're going up by about 400 damage. This is the comparison we should be looking for here, not this one. It's less gold. You're counting alternator twice. Harvester is what you upgrade the alternator. Oh. Okay, you're right. Okay, fuck me. Damn it. I should have looked down. All right, so alternator down, minus 1050 gold here. So the gold is actually 7,650. I'm sorry for not looking down, guys. And then this has to subtract the revolver, which is the 16. So none of this. Enter. This thing subtract 16. Enter. Boom. So 2010. 2268. All right, still amazing. Where is your long hair? I cut it. What do you think? I think it looks good, right? I think my hair looks pretty good now. I don't know. Thank you. I really like my hair right now. Actually, funny enough, I'll share this with you guys, especially the people that are saying like, "Oh my gosh, where's your hair?" and stuff. So check this out, guys. We're gonna go to YouTube, and we're gonna go to this channel called MC Barber. No, that's not me. Don't yell at me. Videos. I'm one of these people. I'm just trying to find where I am. Okay, if I do this years, I think I remember. Shit. Okay, anyway, I have 2 different videos on this channel of this dude cutting my hair. and I can try to find them later. I thought it would be a lot easier, but he has a lot of videos. Sunset haircut. Will I do more in the future? I'll be around here and there, but it's more like this, like impromptu stuff. I'll play my loot later, like maybe in a couple of days or a week or a couple of weeks or something like that. Anyway, sorry. I thought I would be able to quickly find myself getting my haircut, but it wasn't as quick as I had hoped to find it. Okay. Yeah, you can buy 2 alternators because you can always upgrade one into a Horizon Focus, which is decent. But yeah, so look at this breakdown, guys. We're looking at crazy amounts of damage and quite realistic amounts of gold. I can tell you that all of you guys have gotten at least 7,650 gold in like 95% of your games. The only time you're not getting 7,650 gold is if you have like AFKers or you like surrender at 15 or something. Maybe surrender at 20 sometimes. Reawakened Omega. I understand this is kind of like not the best way to think about it, of like I've been doing okay doing X, because here's the thing, a lot of the items in the game, they're quite balanced and you're gonna do fine with whatever the fuck you build, as long as you're building things that make sense on Evelyn. Okay, if you build Ludens, it kind of makes sense on Evelyn. It has magic penetration, you're gonna do all right. If you build Protobelt, damage, ability, whatever, fine. But what we are trying to do is we're trying to break the game. We're trying to find a build that is better than the others, that is more efficient or offers us something better. And the thing about this build that we're proposing here, building Lichbane, building component items, is the fact that it has a couple of things going for it. One, it is heavy on movement speed, and it gives you movement speed in the early game. That's number one. Number two, you can always build towards this build because you don't have to buy a needlessly large rod. You don't need to have a lot of gold saved up in your inventory to be able to build towards it. So you're always at peak efficiency gold spending wise. And the thing is that when you look at the damage breakdowns, when you sit down and you look at what these numbers actually look like, this build does more damage per gold. Okay? Because if you look at so let me just calculate this really quick. So 16, 17 divided by 5,500. Come on, computer. Okay. 67, 5,500. And then you look at, let's say a lot of people have been asking about Ludens. Okay. You look at Ludens and you do equal sign 1201 divided by 3,500. Okay, so do we want the number to be higher or lower? This is damage per gold. So you want it to be higher.
So Ludens is looking better in this hypothetical. But if I do this one, 1085 divided by 3000. Oh my gosh. And this one looks good. This one's gonna look good. So this one looks bad because it's just because it's not a completed item. This is 1.5 items versus 1 item. So it's not as big. It's not a power spike. Okay. Look. I shouldn't have done this number because this number is misleading, okay? Because yeah, it's expensive to buy a Lichbane, and buying this Lichbane gave us 500 extra damage compared 400 extra damage compared to the Ludens. But essentially, like, the Ludens they both have Evelyn's base damage calculated into them, and the base damage is 0 gold. So really, the way that this would be the proper way to calculate it is if we had no items, and then you subtract the no items from this damage and from this damage, and then you calculate how much it is, and then you would see that this is actually really poggers. But I'm lazy. Yes. Okay, Combat Wombats put it really good. In this Lichbane, Sork Shoes, Alternator, and Seal bullshit, just like kitchen sink build, you don't have to be ahead. You never need a lot of gold to buy like a big purchase item. You should buy Spell Thieves. Jessica, I'm not talking about Spell Thieves at all in here, because you should be buying Spell Thieves like every single game because it's just stupid. It's a free item. It's literally a free item. Okay, let me read chat for really quick. Let me see what the sentiments are here. I'm down for Lich pieces into Ludens. I usually go Wisp, then finish Ludens. Is Lucy mid good with the meta? Oh, I don't know, potatoes. I'm sorry. The hidden shot. I'm just trying to figure out Evelyn here. I don't know anything about most other champions right now. I haven't been playing so much. Maybe maxed damage. Oh, thank you for the follow. What, miss the Spell Thief thing? Wait, I missed the Spell Thief. Why is it free? Oh, because Spell Thieves generates gold. So it, like, at first it's not free, but it's free after 10 minutes. Really, it's free after like 5 minutes because you only need to generate 200 gold to be gold efficient with it. But gives wards. Yep. Let me stick it to Ludens, but I feel like I'm sticking to Ludens. It's okay, Jessica. It's totally fine to go Ludens. The Spell Thieves thing will for sure get patched. Well, if it gets patched, then don't buy it. You know, it's one of the reasons why I didn't include it in all these calculations, because it might get patched. But for now, buy it. It's a hell of fun. Taking over and over Proto as first item, do you think is good? I think that Proto Belt is really good. I am one of the people suggesting to buy Proto Belt because I have used Proto Belt in the past and I know its strengths, and being able to buy Proto Belt as a first item is good because basically it gives you a gap closer and a 40-second cooldown. The drawbacks are that it scales poorly into the late game, and you'll have to get used to how to use it. I actually spent some time during this stream explaining that you have to use Proto Belt from stealth and use it to interrupt your Q cast. And that's how you use it optimally. But it's not for everybody. And basically, damage-wise, it comes out to be the same as building most other items. So it's like not a big deal if you don't go it. Like Ludens will just do the same amount of damage basically because the penetration. So the answer with the mythic items, guys, it's up to you. The mythic items only really change the game later on in the game. Do you think forcing Dusk? I don't think forcing Duskblade is good. No, I don't. If you're talking about Evelyn, no. Protobelt is my favorite mythic on Evo. Good, then buy Protobelt. Buy Protobelt. If you like Protobelt, buy Protobelt. But it's not a big deal, guys. It's not a big deal. Like just from looking at the numbers breakdowns here, essentially the way that mythic items are made, they're made with damage in mind so that it's equal. And really it's like, does my champion synergize with the special part of the item? So like Rocket Belt, does Evelyn synergize with Rocket Belt? Yeah, she's a melee assassin with no gap close. Yeah, Rocket Belt is good if you know how to use it because it gets you close to him. Does Evelyn synergize with Echoes? Well, yeah. It's damage on hit and magic penetration, flat magic penetration, which the other items don't have. Yeah, Evelyn synergizes with damage. It's pretty good. And, you know, and besides that, it's 80, like, hold on, you guys aren't seeing what I'm laughing at here. Right here. Like, look at Rocket Belt and look at Luden's Tempest. You have 80 ability power, 80 ability power, 200 base damage, 15 AP scaling, 100 base damage, 10 magic penetration. These two things basically end up being the same as this thing. So when you're looking at the actual mythic items, it's less about which mythic item is better than the other. Riot balanced them. They're basically equal in power. So it's about which passive you like more. And I will tell you my thoughts about it. Riot can't balance anything. Fake news. Oh God. Look, here are my thoughts. Rocket Belt is good early game. It gives you gap closing. It's bad late game. It leaves you vulnerable to CC in a team fight. Luden's is the middleman's choice. It scales decently into late game, damage-wise, because it has magic penetration mythic. And it doesn't have the drawback of being inactive like Protobelt, so you can always get it off. Harvester is Night Harvester is the fully late game choice because it has similar damage to Luden's, but it doesn't have that same mid-game damage. It's kind of like an awkward transition because Evelyn would prefer the magic penetration in the mid-game rather than the ability haste most of the time. Because in the mid-game, most of the time, caveat, most of the time, you still have the ability to wait a little bit, like 5 or 10 extra seconds to get your ultimate back up, so it doesn't matter that you don't have the ability haste. But late game, when you're having team fight after team fight, basically, when it's just like power fighting in team fights, the ability haste becomes really quite nice. And by then, you don't really want the flat penetration because by the end game, people have magic resistance often. So you want like a void staff instead. So the fact that you have 20 ability haste late game is massive. That's like, you know, 10 or 15 second cooldown on your ultimate. And that's really, really big when you're doing a lot of team fights. Alternatively, at a full build, 6 items, 15 or 20 magic penetration, flat magic penetration, is not a lot. In the early game, that's a lot, because people can't buy magic resistance very easily. In the late game, that's not a lot, because essentially your mythic passive is cancelled by somebody buying a null magic mantle, which costs like 450 gold. And the other thing, like Colin Gogo is saying, is that you have 6 items, you have a lot of damage anyway. Yeah, and you could always get Horizon Focus. Pre-Void, you get to 43 plus 45% if you get Void, though does that cancel? 45%? Where are you getting 45%? I thought it was 40. But so Voids, the thing is, like, yeah, I understand. You get 43, but basically the difference between 43 plus 40%, or if it's 45, then it's 45. But I thought it was 40. Whatever. It's not that much different than 45% plus 24. I think that's fake news, but let me double check. Voice staff gives 40. It used to give 45, I think. I think they changed it at some point. Oh, well, it used to be 35 at some point recently. 40. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Flat penetration sucks if somebody has a lot of MR, because here's how it works. I don't know. I think this might be important to talk about, because you guys might just not know how magic resistance works in League of Legends. So let me show it to you really quick. Let's say somebody has Let's say somebody has 35 MR, which is like pretty often that's what people have in the early game. And you just bought Sork shoes, so you have 24 magic penetration. Void is applied before. So what happens here is you deal, so the person you're fighting has 9 magic resistance left, which means that they take 100 divided by 109 total damage, which is equal to they take 92% damage. So this equals 92% damage from whatever source is incoming. So essentially they have 8% damage reduction. Now, say you have Ludens, and now you just bought Ludens, and now you have 34. Now you have 34, right? Where is that? Okay. You have 34. So now they have only 1 MR, which means that this is 100 divided by 101, and they take 100 divided by 101. They take 99. So they have 1% reduced damage. They take 99% of the damage. So what does that mean? You just bought one item and you're dealing 7% extra damage against them just from that MR stat. You're doing a lot of more damage for a very little investment, okay? 7% extra from just the 10 stuff. This is not counting the magic resist, the ability power. This is not counting the stuff from like the Luden's passive, which does 100 damage. You do not deal 10% extra damage in that situation. You deal 7% extra damage. 10 magic penetration is not equal to 10% extra damage. It's all about the numbers that I'm showing you right now. Let me just show you guys one more thing. Before we talk more, okay? 100 magic resistance. Okay, 100 magic resistance. We have 26 and we have 26. So I'll make this fair, okay? I'll make this fair. You deal 10% because it goes from 90 to 99. No, it went from like 92 to 99. Because the first one was 9 MR. Let me just recalculate it. So 9 MR, so you take 100 divided by 109. Yeah, they took 92. Oh, it's 11. Well, fuck, whatever. I used the wrong number in both of them, but you get the gist. I'm sorry. Just trust me that once I show you this 100 example, it's gonna be clear what I mean. I'm sorry. Just look. So if you're fighting a person with 100 MR and you have 26 penetration, they have 74 MR left, and this is the right number this time. So they take 100 divided by 174. So they take 57.5% damage from you. Or in other words, they take 42.5 reduced damage. So damage reduction, okay? Now, let's say you buy a Luden's, and let's say this is late in the game, so your Luden's gives you 20 magic penetration. It's like your third item. You bought a mythic, a third item. You get 46 penetration. Well, now they have 50, in this case, I actually don't know what the numbers are actually going to look like, but it's not going to look that pretty, I still think. So you have 54 MR remaining, which means that you're going to take 100 divided by 154. You're going to take 65 65 which means that you're taking 35 damage reduction. So in this scenario, the difference is 7% damage. And this is like applying twice as much magic penetration than in the first scenario. Okay? When they have double magic resistance, including the 100 base, this is half as effective. So it's like, what I'm trying to show here with this math, and I hope it kind of, I don't know if I'm showing it right, but I hope it kind of shows that flat magic penetration matters more if they have less MR, because as your MR goes up, each extra point of MR reduces the amount of damage you take by less and less. Five, 10, 13. Okay, well, apparently I suck enough. Whatever. If percent pen applies before flat pen, i.e. void, doesn't that mean flat pen with void staff is more valuable than without void? Yes, 100%. But basically, Zombra 808, it matters how much they have, because man, the magic penetration math is so hard, because like it matters specifically how much they have. Whether they have, if they have 35, buying void is stupid, because with void you get like something like 39 total penetration, which you're overkilling and you don't need, because anything you go over doesn't actually count. If they have 100 MR, it matters because it reduces it by 40. So first they have 60, and then you're going from 60 to, if you're doing like 46 penetration, they'll have 16 left, which is crazy amounts. Whereas like the difference between 16 and I calculated, it was like 54 is insane. You're cutting through tons of MR. I'm sorry, I'm not explaining this very well, and I apologize that I was not able to explain it very well and that I made some math errors, but the idea behind it is right. If somebody has a lot of MR, flat MR is kind of shit in the late game, whereas if they have little MR in the early game, it makes a big difference. Whatever. The TLDR is that I did fucking math, and now I am super embarrassed, because now some people might think that I made mistakes here, but I really didn't, because here I took the time to like do it by piecemeal, and I like entered all of the base damages manually and bullshit. So like I did it right here. And the bottom line is that all of the mythic items deal about the same amount of damage. Rocket Belt deals the most damage out of any of the mythics early game, followed by Ludens, followed by Harvester. This is just like one item. But essentially, Lichbane, which is at least 200 gold less. It's 400 gold less than Tempest. Deals the same amount of damage. Lichbane is actually just better than Tempest, because Lichbane and Dark Seal costs less than Tempest and does more damage than Tempest. So if your question is, what is the first item that I should be building? The answer is not Tempest, because the Lichbane does more damage. You could go Rocket Belt if you want the movement speed, but you have to understand that Rocket Belt will scale worse than Lichbane. You could go Harvester. You just have to understand that that's more of a scaling kind of thing. You're going to get benefit from Harvester later on when there's bigger team fights and you can proc Harvester on a lot of people, and where the haste is more useful. This is not an early game thing. Lichbane is going to do more damage because it has the 50% scaling. I believe that the best build is, like Colin Gogo is putting, Alternator Dark Seal into Sorg Boots into Lichbane. Or you could do Rocket Belt. Honestly, I would say that if somebody wants to do Harvester, like they're really just, you really want to do a mythic item. If you really want to do a mythic item, but you can't use Rocket Belt because it just kills you, I would go Luden's Tempest for most people. I would say that Harvester is off limits to like 90% of the player base that plays Evelyn. Because even though it's great and you can use the... I don't think that most Evelyns will be able to use the ability haste that Harvester provides. I don't think that... Because there's going to be some... To really use it, there's going to be some foresight that is needed. One, you will have to know when to use your ultimate. And you will have to have some kind of foresight to get use out of more ultimates. Just be like, okay, well, I'm going to farm for like a minute, and then by then my ultimate's going to be up, and then I'm going to farm towards bot lane so I can gank bot lane, and stuff like that. So Luden's greater than Harvester. I would say, yeah. I would say that players, your average Evelyn player, should go Luden's. Like, if you're just like your average, like Pepe, you know, you just strolled into the Rift and you're like, ooh, this is nice. Ooh, I get stealth. Ooh, and I get some damage. Whoa. I think you should just go Luden's. Because basically all the other shit, it's you gotta be thinking, you gotta like you gotta be like playing like good and shit, you know. And the Lunans, you just can't go wrong. Gives you mana, you can't run out of mana. It gives you damage, you can't go wrong. You made everyone in chat use Harvester. You know what I picture whenever I do this kind of stuff? When people talk about like Pepes and whatever, and just like that kind of hold on, I'll show you guys.
Here's what I think of. Oh God, I don't know how to spell his name. No, come on. It's a meme image. Come on, dude. Where is it? No. This thing, but it was like edited. Not even edited, just... Please. Are they really not gonna show me? It was like somebody photoshopped this picture to have him have like short little Keebler elf legs that like went under the desk. Oh God. Damn it. I was really hoping I could find this quick. Okay. Apparently this is a more rare meme than I thought it would be. Alright, sorry. Yeah, no, never mind. League of Legends, Evelyn. I got Spelthies and I was full build. Do I sell it? I got... Yes. Smoosh Bunch. As soon as you can upgrade the slot, you sell it for something better. Okay? Because by then, it's already generated you lots of gold. And actually, I'm curious. How much does it sell for? Spell Thief. Spell Thief's Edge. Builds into a Frostfang, which builds into a Shard of Choice. Feels bad, man. Sells for 160. I was wondering if it sells for more gold. No, it sells for 160 gold. But still, you still want to sell it because, like, by the time if you can replace Shard of True Ice with like a Banshee's Veil, obviously a Banshee's Veil is better for you than a Shard of True Ice. Even though like Shard of True Ice is really good and it's really free. But yeah, they're basically all the same. Ooh la la. Lol tappin'. Thanks for the follow, my dude. Okay. All right. Honestly, so here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I think I'm gonna give this sheet to you guys to play around with. I'm sorry that it's like all over the place here for like the stuff that we were doing for calculations. And I'm gonna quickly add this damage. This is not Dark Harvest, this is Harvester. So let me update the Harvester damage real quick, and I'll just give you guys this sheet so you guys can kind of try and see if you are curious about whatever item builds you want to do. You can... This is fairly easy to use. You just have to say how much AP you have, what level you are, how much health and magic resistance the enemy has, and then put in how much magic penetration you have, which is either going to be 6 if you have no boots and you have sudden impact. It's going to be 24 if you have boots. And then if you have like mythic passives or Ludens, you're going to have to add that into. And then these columns here is where you want to take the damage from. The first column is just like raw without any kind of magic penetration. If you have 0 magic penetration, that's here. This is 0 magic penetration with W. This is 0 magic penetration except you put void in. Here you just have flat magic penetration, so it takes this number. Here it's full minus W, which that means that you don't have your W, but you have void staff and your flat penetration, so on and so forth. This is if you do W, void staff, and everything. And it's like the total damage for whatever was in the other leftmost thing. So like hate spike at level 11, hate spike is level 5. It scales by 195. This is the base damage. This is the damage from your AP. This is the total damage. And then you look at which column you want. So like this is just the column that does flat magic penetration only. And you take the damages from here. So you're like, I just want to see without my W or a void staff, how much damage am I going to do? These are the numbers for these items. Would you say go death cap 3rd item after Sorg Boots, Lich, Alternator, assuming you don't need void? I would say that death cap is the most damage you can get, just straight up. So if you ever just want to build damage, death cap is the way to go. The problem with death cap is that needlessly large rods are hard to build. So if you look here, death cap is super cheap. Needlessly large rods, double needlessly large rods give you more damage than Lichbane. Or actually the same amount of damage as Lichbane. So yeah, needlessly large rods are always going to deal a lot of damage. If that's the only thing you want, and you have the gold to buy needlessly large rods, buy needlessly large rods. But that's not like something that you'll be able to do every game. Like, I shit you not, I bet going Lichbane into death cap is more damage than going Lichbane into any other item. Like, that sounds super troll, right? Because we're not getting a mythic. But I will bet like $5 with anybody in stream right now that if I run the calculations, Lichbane into death cap will do more damage. And like, than Lichbane into Ludens. I bet you that's going to do more damage. I know. Death cap is really expensive. But like death cap, there's so much freaking damage. Look. So when can you get? Let's say level 11, you can get 2 items. I think that's kind of fair, right? And then Lichbane gives you 80, so it's going to be 100. Death cap gives you how much? Very nice. How much? How much for the death cap? It sounds nice. I watched Borat recently. 120 and 35. I did watch the new Borat. You got me, dude. So yeah. What did I say? 100. So 220 times the 1.35. So 1.35. Right? Yeah. 1.35 times 220. This is supposed to have an equal sign before my entire thing just breaks. So 297 AP. Let's just say their MR, whatever, 69 MR, 1569. Magic penetration, 24 is right. Okay. So yeah, all those things is nice. So let's just do equal sign. We get hate spike plus plus Whiplash plus Ultimate plus Electric U plus Lichbane. Okay, plus 100 for smite damage, and this is what we get. And then we get this thing. This is with W, so this thing plus this thing plus this thing plus this thing plus Lichbane right here. Plus 100 for smite damage, equal sign here. So you have, I'm running out of space. Okay, so you have Lich, and this is just straight up Lich plus Death Cap. So Lich is, we're saying 3,500 plus 3,800, so it's 7,300. And the damage it gives is 2043 slash 2305. Now the damage for Lichbane plus Ludens is giving us 15 magic penetration at this point in the game. So that's going to be 39. The AP is going to be, so Ludens is 80 ability power, 80 power Lichbane, so we do 100, because it's 20 base ability power, so we're going to be doing 180, and everything else stays the same. Did I do this wrong? This is supposed to be 49? No. Because it's 24 plus 15, 39. No, that's right. So now, this thing, you have Lichbane, but then you also add in the Ludens proc. The Ludens proc is right here, 98. And then you add in the Ludens proc to here, 113. So you have Lich plus Ludens, which is 400 gold less. So we have 6,900, and that's dealing 1926 slash 2205. And this is against a person with 69 MR. No, this has sword boots in them. Because Ludens at 2 items gives 15. You get 6 for free, so you're at 21. And then 21 plus 18 is 39. Oh, cost. Okay, yeah, you're right. So they cost, how much to upgrade? 900. So 8,200 and 900, 7,800. Oh, it's 800 to update? Jesus Christ. I'm saying that you have the rune. Whatever. Okay, so for 400 gold extra, going Lich plus Death Cap, you get 120-ish extra. No. Yeah, 120 extra damage. For 400 gold. That's very, very good. Now, you don't get the movement speed for 2 seconds is the biggest thing, which is why you shouldn't do this. Because damage isn't the only thing you want. And essentially, 1926 is good enough to kill most people. You also have to remember you're going to do a little bit less than all of these numbers shown here, because these numbers count all 3 waves of hate spike hitting, which is like only 1 wave of hate spike really is like often is what you're going to get. So that's minus another like 150, 200 damage. The spikes themselves don't actually do much. Only the first Q, the projectile, matters. That's where like 65% of the damage comes from, and the spikes deal like 13 or something, 12. Okay. I'm getting tired, guys.
Will you dumb this down into a final conclusion summary for the Discord or something? Hey, I have a dumbed down version for you right now. And I'm going to say, I'm going to, here we go. Final thoughts. I'm going to try to say this as quickly as possible so we can just clip it and give it to you, the viewer, to distribute and tell everybody. And we're going to do this in 2 clips, okay? Because there's 2 things that we want. First of all, clip number 1. Guys, right now, there are 2 broken items in League of Legends that Evelyn can buy. Number 1 is Dark Seal. It has a maximum of 70 AP that it can hold, and it's very easy to stack. You just have to get assists or kills here or there. If you play safe, you get it. And if you think about it relative to things, all the AP items in the game got nerfed with the release of the new items. Most of them give 80 ability power now. So if you compare a Dark Seal being able to give you 70 ability power for 350 gold, just for playing smart, playing League of Legends the way it's supposed to be played, you should understand how fucking crazy that is. Very, very unbalanced. Buy a Dark Seal. It's cost efficient without any stacks. And as soon as you get a kill, it is cheating, basically. You just get free money. 10 ability power when you get a kill. Very powerful. Buy it. Once you hit 7 minutes of the game and you smite 5 times, the second item comes into play. Spell Thieves is again able to be purchased by junglers. Junglers can buy support items now. Support items are very powerful because they give you wards for free after you gain 500 gold from them, which you can do in 5 to 10 minutes. So you get a free upgrade on the item. The item pays for itself because it generates you gold, and it gives you vision, and you can sell it later back to get a lot of, to get like 180 or 160 gold back. So essentially, it just lets you ramp even, especially when you are behind. You buy a Spell Thieves, and now just like fighting gives you gold. If you buy a Spell Thieves gives you 1 stack every 10 seconds. Each stack gives you 20 gold. So if you gank every 30 seconds, which you shouldn't be doing, by the way, but if you do, you're getting 60 gold just for showing up in lane. Okay? Very powerful. And you can think of Spell Thieves making ganks kind of like camps, because a camp gives you on average like what, 120 gold? I don't know. That's the end of the first clip. Second clip. If somebody can clip this for me, you guys are amazing. If you can't, I'll do it myself. It might be a little bit too long. I don't know. Second thing. What to build as far as items go. The first thing I will tell you is that I did a lot of calculations. You see calculators here. Basically, the mythic items are not so important that you should rush them. The reason why is because of the broken items this season, which are Dark Seal and Spell Thief's Edge. And there's another little summary for you for that. And the fact that Hextech Alternator now this season builds into a lot of more useful Evelyn items than it did last season. So you can... Oh, and one last thing. Why mythic items are not necessary to rush is because Lichbane got a big buff this season. It deals like 60 more damage base, and it has a decent build path. Lichbane is, Sheen costs less money now. So if you want to build a mythic item, go for it. But if you want to be really gold efficient, you want to get damage as soon as possible, you build Lichbane, you build Hextech Alternator, you build Dark Seal, you build Spell Thieves, and you're going to get damage out 1 or 2 minutes earlier. And you're going to get a lot more damage out. And if you think about what you have to build to make a Luden's Tempest, what you have to build to get a Harvester, you need a Nisi Large Rod. Tempest needs like that mana book or something. I don't know. It's that weird item. And those items are not ideal. So when you buy those items, you're weaker at that point in time when you're holding those components than if you were to build the ones that I told you earlier. Blasting Wands, Hextech Alternators, Dark Seal, all that kind of stuff. You will be stronger while you're building those items. For that reason, I suggest that you go Lichbane. I suggest that you go Hextech Alternator. I suggest that you build Sork Shoes before you finish items. And just play off of raw AP from those components and the early magic penetration. Use those things to boost yourself in the early game. It's a beautiful mix of damage and utility, because you get Aether Wisp, which gives you movement speed, you get Boots, which gives you movement speed, and you get raw AP from those other sources. So there you go. Why is Dark Seal broken? I thought it was pretty nerfed. No, Dark Seal just got straight up buffed by a lot. Dark Seal gives 5 per stack now instead of 3. So it stacks up to 70. Yeah, and it has HP too. That's the thing that I forgot to mention. Oh, Spell Thieves and Dark Seal both give HP. So you get 90 HP for building like these broken items. Alternator before Lichbane? Yeah, because Alternator is just really, really good. I mean, if you can get Lichbane, if you're really cruising and you could just get a Lichbane, I think Lichbane is better because you get the movement speed. But the component Alternator itself is better than the Lichbane components. So if you're not like cruising along and you're not like super fed and you're trying, it's like a more even early game, then I think you take the Alternator, you boost your early game, you try to get a kill off of it, and then use that kill money to like get ahead of the game. I think if you back with 870 gold, you might just buy Blasting Wand versus 2 Amp Tones to turn into Alternator. I legitimately do not think that there is any difference in that situation. Whether you buy the Blasting Wand or the 2 Amp Tomes, it gives you the same amount of damage. It really matters whether you want to build the Alternator, which is going to give you more power right now, or if you want to build the Blasting Wand to get the Lichbane, which is going to give you more power in about 5 to 7 minutes. Look at me watching some weird guy do some weird math at 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm dead, dude. All right, guys. Real quick, it's 2 a.m. I want to go to bed. I've been streaming for 5 hours. It's way more than anything I've done recently. I'm going to do some editing with this stuff tomorrow and give you like a highlight or something. I don't know. Something. But Give me real quick. Yeah, secondary rune set, free boots, and futures market. I think those are really good. Real quick, do you guys have questions? Do you guys have questions? If you have questions, ask now because I won't be back in a while. How do I get the Excel sheet? Visit my Discord. I'll put it up tomorrow in the morning. And Discord is the best way to catch me. If you guys just visit my Discord. Okay, yeah. The link still works. Gathering Storm. Gathering Storm, I don't like Gathering Storm because it's a late game rune, and I believe that Evelyn should get early game runes because she scales very well into the late game, and her early game is her weak point. So you take the runes that help her in the early game so you more reliably get to the late game where you're strongest. GG Fabulous! What's up, my dude? Long time no see. I'm sorry, but I'm about to head out. You kind of caught me at a bad time. Ultimate Hunter or movement speed one? J Windows, this is very important. The movement speed one. Very important. There is, if you look at statistics, it's a very big favor towards the movement speed one. And basically, the way that Evelyn works, I'll tell you really quick right now. Evelyn has no gap close besides her like ultimate, no quick mobility. And she relies heavily on positioning and her camouflage. And the only way that you can really make use of that is if you are faster than the enemy. If the enemy is faster than you, they dictate whether or not they eventually end up seeing you. Because if like you have to be a good Evelyn player, you have to constantly stay very close to them, even when you're not fighting, because one, you want to get vision of them, but two, if your team comes by, you want to be able to quickly help them. You can't be too far away. And if you are faster than them, you can stay within like 200 units of them safely, because if they turn around towards you, you just turn around and you're faster than them. But if they're faster than you and you're trying to stick really close to them like I described, then they turn around and if they just choose to randomly run in your direction, they end up seeing you after like 2 or 3 seconds, and the jig is blown. Once they know where you are and you're not engaging on them, you are fucked. And the best way that I can describe this to you is, have you ever tried to take a pink ward and got completely and utterly obliterated by the enemy? Why does this happen? Because they know where you are. Once the enemy knows where you are, you lose everything. You're a melee range assassin. So this is very important. Take Relentless Hunter. I know it's tempting to take Ultimate Hunter because our ulti has a fairly long cooldown. It's very important that you are faster than the enemy. Very important. That's why one of the reasons why I am talking about Lichbane so much right now, because previously I always told people not to go Lichbane because it was bad in terms of damage by a lot. It was really expensive last season. It was 200 gold more expensive, and it did vastly less damage than other options. But the gold requirement for Lichbane this season got reduced, and the Lichbane damage got increased by a lot. So it's like, not only is Lichbane a really amazing scaling option for damage now, it's also a very affordable early game option and has good base damage. So fuck yeah, man, it's good. Welcome back, Thar Shadows. Thar She Blows. Nice name. Genius Hunter for Rocky Bell CDR. You know what? Actually, guys, if you want to have, like, as a side note, if you want to have a lot of fun on Evelyn, here's a build that I recommend. Go in Genius Hunter, go Proto Belt or Rocket Belt, pick the Predator rune, and go Smite Ignite. It's fun. You don't miss out on not having flash that much because you're stealth. so they don't see you coming, and the predator movement speed makes it so you get really close to them really quick, and like with Pro Bell and all that stuff, you just kind of get in their face, you ulti, whatever. It's fun time. No, it's really fun, because then Ignite, the Riot Games has balanced Evelynn a lot around her not having Ignite, because, you know, you get people below 30% HP, you kill them. And if you bring Ignite, you basically always get them below 30% HP and kill them. Yeah, I'm sorry, Zynos. I know I tend to like give long explanations, but I really think they're useful. So I will do highlights later on so that you guys can kind of just like look through them. I'll just put them on a YouTube playlist or something. I don't know. Predator works a bit different now than the last time when you played. Oh, really? Well, whatever. I'm sure it's still similar enough. Expanding. Your brain is in transition. Okay, all right, guys. I gotta go to bed. Thank you very much for stopping by. It's incredible to see this kind of interaction, considering that I have not been here pretty much at all, and to have you guys welcome me back so warmly, it's really crazy to me, and it makes me really happy because I don't expect this kind of thing.
My wife is going to be stalked to hear your back.
Darcy Blows, thank you for the sub. Your waifu will stalk everybody, and I approve of that. Eldrazi Scion, thank you for the 500 bits, but it's literally 2 a.m. So your bits made me stay for at least another couple of seconds, I will admit. But, and here's the thing, I'll be popping in here and there, you know, because I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to be hip and cool, and the reason that I'm here today is because there's a lot of changes, and I felt like bad because I always knew everything that was everything about Evelynn. And now that the items are all shaken up, I don't know what's best because I can't just try it out. So I wanted to do this math to try and get kind of on top of the game without breaking my commitment to not playing League of Legends. So I will stream again in like a couple of days, hopefully. But the next time I stream, I'll probably be playing some loot. And I'll show you guys how much I improved. So if you guys are excited about that, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. But yeah, it was nice seeing you. I hope to talk to you guys some more in the future. And I bid you farewell.